Greetings, Mech Warriors, and welcome to this MRBC season finale matchup between 228th IBR Blackwatch and Imperial. This is a Division A matchup, and we don't get this too often, but the last match of the season is for all the marbles. We've got, I believe, 3 teams in contention to win Division A. So what happens here tonight is going to play a huge part in the standings. I am Bandit P17 from the Marine Mechs as usual, and with me is MDM0.
Hey guys.
As usual, again, make sure you guys give us any feedback of anything that you see tonight. We definitely value your feedback and want to know audio levels, pip, stuff like that, just whatever, overlay, just let us know what you guys think, and we can definitely work on making any changes necessary. But so far, this has been a long season with a lot of casts, and you guys have helped us, I believe, refine this into being a much better experience than when we first started, and definitely better than last season. So I absolutely have enjoyed growing with you guys, and you guys have been very helpful with all of your feedback, so that has been fantastic. Make sure you guys stick around tonight, because we will be giving away some awesome prizes. PGI has gifted us with a couple mech packs. We have a Cyclops mech pack, and is it Night Gear or Night Gear? I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it because I've heard it both ways.
I thought it was a Space Marine.
Space Marine. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
it's a Space Marine.
Hell, it's about time. So, we'll be giving away one of each of those packs tonight, as well as a tournament supporter pack, which was donated to us by NGNG. No Guts, No Galaxies. So they're going to be giving that away with us too. Awesome. That is fantastic. This is going to be pretty much the biggest giveaways we've had in an MRBC stream so far. So I'm super stoked to be able to get that out to you guys. We'll be doing it periodically throughout the match, and hopefully we'll have a really exciting one tonight. Once again, and we say this every time, EMP is heavily favored for this one. However, every time we've said that, they've come away with a very close matchup. We've seen a lot of 3-2 decisions in Division
In
A.
fact, every match that EMP has played that was not against a withdrawn team, so the matches that they've actually played has been a 3-2 decision so far. So a lot closer, I think, than we're expecting out of teams. But, I think that comes down to, honestly, maybe a little bit on EMP maybe having a little bit of a rough go, but I don't necessarily think that's true. I think it comes down to that every team so far, when they play EMP, we all know it, right? They've got this huge target on their backs, and every team they play is going to give them their absolute best shot. They're going to play the strategies that they've worked on this whole time that they've never shown anyone before. They're going to do crazy things. They're going to do anything they can to get that win, because that's the pinnacle against which all else is measured at this point in competitive MechWarrior Online. So they're going to get the best shot that every team has, and I think that's what we're seeing. We're seeing some great matches every time EMP steps up to the plate, and they're still winning it. But you know what? It makes for some really exciting games.
Now, 228th has kind of been laying a little bit low, I would say, in the division so far, but they've put themselves in a pretty decent position. It is going to be a tall order for them to be able to take first place. Right now, according to the standings, SJR is at the top, but they have played all of their matches. So now, I don't have the numbers in front of me, MD, maybe
I
you
do.
do. But essentially, from what I understand, it sounds to me like if EMP takes, is it 3 drops from 228?
Basically 3. They need about 1.2, or 1.2 million C-bills. 228 needs about 1.4 out of this. 228 needs a good game. They need to win this.
So
EMP
essentially,
basically needs to win the round.
If EMP takes 3 drops, they're in a really good position to just squeak past SJR. And if 228 wins, they're going to have to win pretty handily. It can't just be a
Yeah,
three
it's going to
drop
be a
win.
solid
It's
victory
going to
for
have to
them.
be a solid victory to push them past the SGR mark. So if it lands in between that, if it lands in between like a 4 or 5 drop win for 228 and a 3 drop win for EMP, SGR is going to survive and take first place. So this is a three-way running, and it's super exciting to see how this goes. So I can't wait to see how this is going to play out. Now 228 just played last week during our other cast a match against Intari Scorpions, and they actually had a very solid 5-0 decision against Intari Scorpions, and I think a lot of us were a little bit surprised by that. Not necessarily that we thought 228 couldn't handle it, but Intari Scorpions has been doing decent in the division against a lot of these top tier teams. Not saying they're not a top tier team, but against Lords they took a few drops. Against EMP they took a few drops. I'm pretty sure they took a few against SJR. And then for 228 to come in and wipe them off with a 5-0
Yeah.
clean sweep,
That
that
was a huge
is huge
that
for
was
228.
huge for making this a three-team race. Without that match, this is between SJR and EMP, which is, what we expected, and I think it's what everyone predicted, and it's frankly kind of what we've come to, just get used to. But 228 cleaning out AS like that, and don't get me wrong, AS has been playing well this season. Again, a 2-3 loss to EMP. Like I said, every team EMP's played, it's been 3-2 decision. So they've been playing well. It was really shocking to have, 228 have a 5-0 decision. That's not something we've seen really before at all in Div A so far. And doing that allowed them to, be in this position where, while it might not be the greatest chance, it is still a chance at winning the division.
MD, we've got invites going out, good sir. Hopefully, you guys are catching us loud and clear. We've been experimenting with the pre-stream, which doesn't come from my computer, which is fantastic because I can work and test things while you guys are all filtering in. But it coming from a different computer, it's a little bit strange sometimes. So hopefully, you guys are catching us loud and clear. And the other thing too is I have a different monitor setup. I don't know if you see. Normally I'm going like this a whole bunch, back and forth, back and forth. But this time I actually purchased a vertical monitor stand, so you'll see me looking up here a little bit more, and the camera's right in the middle. So hopefully that helps with the audio, so I'm not pulling my face away from the mic quite as much, and we'll see how that goes. So we are getting into the lobby. Let's start talking about drop one, shall we? Canyon Network, skirmish, 4 lights, 4 mediums, 0 heavies, 0 assaults, no strikes, and no clan streaks. Throughout the entire match tonight, we will have the same rule of 1 max of any chassis with 1 duplicate allowed. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled. If somebody brings 2 duplicates, that's going to be pretty bad for them. We've had a couple of those this season, so
Yeah, we have seen
and
that.
sometimes they're hard to catch. I mean, if you think it's hard to catch when you're creating a deck, it's hard to catch it when you're watching it too. But we'll see if we can get on top of some of that stuff. So Canyon Network on a very light drop. These ones are pretty hard to cast because it's
Very
gonna be
fast,
big.
and it's gotten unpredictable on Canyon. I think early in the season we saw the same thing over and over again, right? We saw this battle kind of either on the D3 side or the Charlie 4 side at Theta. That was all we saw. Later in the season, it feels like we're seeing some teams maybe experiment with some different things. The fact of the matter is, you get these really quick matches because you've got these small, fast mechs, but at the same time, you see a lot of crazy things because all of a sudden you're fast enough to maybe pull off that strat that you think won't work with a bunch of heavies and assaults. But, if you want to try and do some crazy loop around the side of the map and come back this way or split up or whatever, you can kind of play with it with those faster mechs. And I think we're seeing teams maybe feel a little more confident or a little more experienced in trying to do that. And we're getting some, not always, but some different things than the typical Theta light brawl on Canyon.
Absolutely. I mean, some of the stuff we've been seeing is a little bit of a standoff on Delta 3 while one team comes through Theta and engages. Now, the last time we drew that, of course, they did something completely different.
Yeah.
Really, it's up to one team to decide that we're gonna try and get them to fight where we want them to fight, and they go where they want to go, and the other team reacts to that. So they could go anywhere on this map and try and set up some sort of solid ambush or brawl. So who knows what these guys are going to decide. But that's the excitement of it, is because then we can talk about it afterwards and say, well, this is what they did and this is why it went so well. So hopefully we see some exciting stuff there. But this is in skirmish, so they could very well take it a little bit slow to try and get some sort of an advantage, but we won't see necessarily a really long standoff, I should hope, because with it being such a light drop deck, it is very easy to close the gap very quickly. So we'll have to see where they decide to fight on this map. It looks to me like Canyon Network actually is going to be the map for the qualifying rounds of the $100,000 PGI tournament. So
we'll get pretty used to it, I think.
We're going to get used to the positioning and stuff like that. But, you know, that's we're going to be seeing a lot of Canyon Network. But it is going to be, of course, lighter.
I don't know if I'll like it at the end of the tournament. I'm not sure.
Absolutely. So it looks like both teams are getting in. We have Alpha and Bravo for both teams. So that doesn't necessarily say too much. It looks like this might be a fight more towards the southern side of the map, though. So we are headed in right now. Let's take a look. We'll get the picture-in-picture going. Here we go. Picture-in-picture brought to you by MDM Zero's computer. That's pretty sweet.
That struggles with the picture-in-picture, even though it should do better than it does. But poor computer.
All right, we are taking a look at the battlefield right now. I am over on the Imperial side. We're seeing Spider 5K for Aurora, Jenner 2C, Nova and Water, Coburn, Jenner Oxide, Twinkie Overlord, Jenner Oxide. So we have the dual Jenner Oxides.
Yeah, and we see the dual Oxides on 228 as well, Jenner 2C, and instead of the Spider, they went with the Arctic Cheetah. And then we're going to take a look and see at, oh boy. Going to see Shadowhawk, that's pretty popular, 2D2, although this has an LBX autocannon instead of the normal Aisley 10.
Going for the crit seeking with that tighter spread.
Yeah.
Go for those closer range engagements.
And a Hunchback 2C with 2 large pulse lasers and some mediums. Looks like a little bit of an Overwatch mech here. Let's see what else they've got. They have the Trebuchet 5J. We saw this from SJR versus EMP. The Trebuchet did a very nice job standing off. Seems a little more popular now to bring a couple range mechs on this first drop. And it looks like they're going to try and do some trading from Charlie 4 here.
Now, we have seen this this position used in the past, but definitely instead of just coming straight into EMP like they kind of hoped, they have their lights set up down in the pit here. They were hoping that they would rush through Theta and get in on their backs, but with 228 opting to go for a little bit more of a pokey start here, the battle definitely has slowed down quite a bit. Let's take a look at Selith here and see whether or not...
Yeah, Chrisman got a little. I think he got a little stuck on Charlie 4. Chrisman is in the Trebuchet 5J, and he's kind of moving around, but he took a little bit of back damage there. Not necessarily a good thing in a fast brawl, but I think he kind of had a little bit of maneuvering problems and wound up taking a little bit of damage to the back. Most of his damage is spread out pretty well, though. He looks to be in pretty good shape.
Panic button with that Hunchback 2C, a very high position. We've seen this position used by EMP before, but that was more when they were getting rushed up on. Panic was driven off of there, but he was able to get some trades in. He did take quite a bit of damage now on his right torso and his left arm, but overall still has everything he needs to get the job done. Chrisman in the Trebuchet, he is playing pretty aggressively out in front.
Yeah, he's playing very aggressively right now. I don't know if that's necessarily the best strategy. He's taken a lot of damage.
Just saw some of that LBX
spread it
fire
off pretty
from
well,
the 2D2.
But,
now, did
their
you
two
say
Overwatch mechs are at just under 80% now.
They both opted for the 2D2s. Let me take a look to see whether or not
they've got the LBX on both of them.
LBX.
I did check. Both of them have that LBX autocannon. That
we
seems
might
to be
seeing the birth of a new meta here, especially for the brawl decks. Selith down to 70%. He actually has lost his right arm. His left arm is falling off. I believe those are just shield arms, though.
Yes, those are shield arms, but his torsos are both orange and red armor, and he actually has some internal structure damaged on his leg. He was riding the override early on in these engagements. I'm not sure if that's the best thing to do this early on. When you're just poking back and forth, that's a little dangerous, I think, to be riding that hot.
Now, one thing that I do find interesting, they brought dual oxides on 228 side with a Jenner 2C and the Arctic Cheetah, but the one of the light mechs for Imperial is the Spider 5K, which has that large
Yes.
pulse laser. So he's actually probably getting some decent trades in there, at least harassing
And
the
Selith
Beef and the
is
Cheetah
now
up on
having
the
an
right
open
here.
torso as well. So I think having just one mech trading right now for EMP is hurting them a little bit because Selith is taking all that fire. He's doing a good job putting the damage down, but I mean, I don't know if he can compete with two peaking mechs versus
His
one.
right shoulder is now open.
Yeah.
Left shoulder is about to be open if he takes one more hit to that. So he is a little bit worse for wear. If an engagement does happen, hopefully he'll be able to filter out to the back and avoid taking too much from that. His
And
arm
he just
has
took
gotten
another
blown
shot,
off.
lost his other arm there.
Yep, he did not get hit in the left shoulder though, so it could have been much worse. Now, you got to keep in mind, this is not Conquest, so there's nothing forcing these two teams to face each other.
Yeah, and
We haven't
Chrisman with
seen
that
too
aggressive
much,
play now is open. Rear CT does have his rear CT cord open, no armor, but in theory that's fine. But he's really really aggressive here on these trades, and if they get into a close brawl, that could be a negative. If one mech gets behind him, it could one shot him pretty easily.
So we
Ooh, and
haven't-
that arm just got opened up. Chrisman's arm now lost its armor. That's where the majority of his firepower is. 3 large lasers on that arm. He cannot afford to lose that in this point of the engagement.
So yeah, he's been playing really far off the rock, and the amount of time it takes
Yeah.
him to escape, they're able to get at least a return shot in on them.
Yeah, and he's twisting the damage pretty well, but he's almost twisting it too well. He's taking a lot of damage on his back where I'm sure he doesn't have a lot of armor.
So the Spider now shifted over to the right side, and he's trying to get some cross shots on that Treb now. So we'll see if he has any opportunity
Ooh,
to
and
do that.
Saleth just lost his other torso, got opened up. He peeked out to hit the Arctic Cheetah for 228, and as soon as he peeked out, both of the trading mechs for 228 peeked around the corner and got some damage on him. He's opened both torsos now.
Heimdallite moved far off to the right with his Griffin 3M. He's just looking for any sort of opening that they can maybe move in and get some shots in. Seleth is not going to be able to do this for much
Yeah,
longer.
I would like to see EMP get a little more aggressive here. Seleth is their only trading mech at this point other than the Spider, and he is in a dangerous spot right now. Just took some more damage. Yeah, he's orange core now on both torsos. He really can't afford to peek that much more.
Now, he is pretty well hurt, but a majority of the rest of the EMP mechs are in pretty decent shape. So Seleth,
Yeah.
almost pretty much alone, maybe with the help of the 5K, has been dealing quite a bit more damage to 228 as a whole. So even though they might lose Seleth or he might get finished off here,
He is doing a great job playing the hills right now on this Hunchback. This is some impressive peeking.
he is definitely dealing out some damage, though. So when the brawl does happen, that's going to be at a disadvantage. Even if you're down a mech, that could be bad
Ooh.
for 228.
And that torso's getting dangerously close to popping for Seleth.
Seleth is on the move. He's getting out of there. 8 minutes to go in the match. This has definitely been the slowest drop one we've seen in the entire season. But the damage is flying back and forth, and these guys are being very, very careful.
And it looks like Seleth actually just told his teammates where to go. He actually fired into the ground. The good old-fashioned "go where my lasers are going" sort of thing.
so
And EMP has moved their mediums.
now the Beef is getting a little bit aggressive up here on the left side. He's
And
trying
he
to get
just
some
Seleth
shots
did
in
it
there.
again. He's directing traffic with those lasers. It's kind of cool to watch.
Oh, he took another peek and did
Ooh.
get hit again, down to 52% now.
He got hit again, but he's getting solid burns on those mechs. While it looks like 228's kind of spreading that damage all over. Especially Chrisman trying to jump jet and shoot at the same time, throwing his aim off a little bit.
So majority of the mediums now have moved down, but they have the beef on this corner. If he's running seismic, he can see them coming, and it looks like he does because he is bugging out. He has now notified his team that there are several mechs coming around this corner. I'm assuming beef has seismic if he started moving without even seeing anything. But now we have Slummy, Imminent, and Heimdallite now cresting the corner, and we're going to have a little bit of action. That information coming from the beef could have been huge. He's going to have plenty of warning that they're heading this direction.
He's got to have seismic. He's periodically stopping every point, it looks like, to try and get a reading on him.
So 228 is going to have early warning, and we are seeing their arrows. They are actually shifting to the corner and preparing to unleash on them as they run down this. This is going to be a very hard push for EMP up the left side if they commit to it against ranged mechs. So that information...
But they got to commit to something. Like you said, Salith cannot keep trading it like this. I mean, he's doing a great job, basically 1v2, but there's only so much armor to give.
He's dealt enough damage that this, if they can close the gap with these mechs, if they can get on top of 228, they could potentially kill those mechs faster than if it was a straight-up brawl from the beginning. And here we go. EMP is on the move. They will be taking some fire after they breach around this next corner. We'll see whether or not the combined effort of 228's ranged weapons can take down the first mech that they pick. And we are about to get busy. Heimdallite up on the left side, only being watched by a couple of lights. 228 has actually bugged out.
They're rotating away, yeah.
So hopefully they don't get... You know, if they continue rotating and don't get any shots in, they're not going to be able to deal enough damage by the time EMP gets on top of them. And they have some guys
slower mediums
off in the
behind.
back here.
We're going to get in trouble here.
Now, these are brawler mechs over here, but they are now segregated from the rest of their team. If they drop down on the left side, it's going to be two separate fights, and that's going to be very bad for 228. They need to stay up top so their Overwatch can help. We are in the main brawl now, and it looks to me like Greem in the Griffin 3M is the first to go down for 228. They are now focusing Heimdallite, but he is still alive and still fighting. Edmeister goes down. We have 228 mechs dropping left and right.
And you know what happened? The spider for SJR just distracted both Overwatch mechs, actually killed them.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, they are up there, and he is just unloading on Chrisman, who is trying to get to any sort of high ground, but this is actually kind of hilarious to watch here. Just the Spider 5K pelting the crap out of the Trebuchet. There's nothing he can do. I don't even care about the rest of the fight at this point because this is hilarious. I can't believe that Arara is just suppressing the Overwatch, basically solo. And Chrisman is going to be the last one left, and this is going to be a 7-1
Wow, Aurora MVP
decision
right there.
In favor of EMP. Oh my goodness.
Those two Overwatch mechs were firing on EMP as they were coming around the corner, and then all of a sudden that spider popped up at Theta, and that was it. Overwatch was taken out by a spider. I mean, we've seen that spider before, but
you had about 4 228 mechs attempting to focus each of the brawler mechs down for EMP, but had absolutely no help from their Overwatch.
No support at all.
Ed down with only 90 damage dealt. Greem in the Griffin 3M did 0.
Yeah, and he was the medium that got left behind when they rotated, basically. Don't know whether it was
the entire matchup pulling 610 damage.
Yeah,
like I said, Selith did take a lot of damage during that fight. Kept all of his weapons, kept most of his mech intact, however, but dealing 610 damage in this light of a drop over the course of that.
Huge.
That actually, I was saying it before, and I'm going to say it again. I think Selith just burning them down slowly made the brawl that much easier to finish.
Yeah, I think even if the spider hadn't showed up, they would have won. I mean, that really can't be understated what Selith did there in that match. 2v1, essentially, won that engagement and did a great job, kept all his weapons up. Yeah, he took a lot of damage. Whether he could have been continued to do that for another couple minutes, I don't think so. But during the time that he did it, for the duration of that engagement period, basically for what, close to 7-8 minutes for that engagement, something like that, maybe 6, somewhere around that range. took on 2 mechs versus 1 and didn't lose a weapon, didn't lose an important component. That's very impressive.
Honestly, I didn't really like 228's position that they chose to take. After they knew they had the advantage of the information, knowing that EMP was coming up that right side, and I didn't like how they responded to that personally. They rotated away their Overwatch, but they brought them into the middle of the map, and I think that really gave
Yeah.
Aurora a freebie
Yeah.
to get in on
That
them.
was a layup. That was a slam dunk right there.
I almost personally would have rathered maybe sending the Overwatch mechs to Junkyard or something off onto the other side, so
Yeah.
they could have shot in on EMP during the entire traversal of that left side, that left flank.
To be honest, I think they probably
But
completely forgot about that spider. Just 100% forgot. But I mean,
maybe
that's like you said,
they
combined with Seleth doing such a good job trading, and then a spider being able to take out 2 mediums, the Overwatch, that was not a great situation for 228 to be there in the end, and obviously it very clearly went in EMP's favor.
absolutely. I just feel like if you have that much Overwatch, you
Yeah.
need to have them out there firing as EMP approach. But they got a
Yep.
free ride, almost a free ride, all the way up into the brawl. And then the other thing I was concerned about, you can't drop your brawlers down on the opposite side of that canyon wall because now your Overwatch can't even shoot at them. And that's where they did most of their fighting. When they were fighting Heimdallite on that back corner, it
Yep.
was all out of reach of Overwatch anyways. So even if the spider didn't get on Overwatch, maybe if the trebuchet got on top of the spire, which it looked like he was trying to do, but it was too late at that point, even if he got up there, I don't see him being able to effectively help out the rest of his brawlers by the
No.
time the fight's already over. So it was essentially like a 4v6 fight on this left side. I'm pretty sure that's about 6 mechs. Nah, it's five brawlers coming in. So basically a 4v5, but they're already weak.
Yeah.
It's not a good place to fight.
Not a good play there to receive the push by 228 at all.
See,
I
they
think
need to get
just
out of
across the
this
board.
area here. This is not where you want to fight right here. They needed to get back up here and try and get them fighting in this area or draw them into the canyon or something. And then they pull all their lights off, and so that's why the lights can go mess up the Overwatch. You don't have any of the oxides within striking distance, and they just can't. The 3 remaining mechs here just can't take down Heimdallite. They're just completely slaughtering them. And that's unfortunate. It is. And so that while this is going on, we did completely I completely missed for the most part what was happening over here. But as you saw, panic button in the hunchback got taken down. They
Yeah,
have
very quickly.
another roaming, what is it, a hunchback 2C. That's Seleth joined the
Yeah,
fun.
sell it.
And then this Sorara just with the machine gun, just unloading on Chrisman, and just there's nothing he can do. I think at that point he probably lost it. He just lost one of his arms there, but there's just nothing he can do. That's such a helpless feeling when you just
Yeah.
got these machine guns pelting the crap out of you, and none of your teammates are alive. And
It
that's
is
all she
amazing
wrote.
how times have changed, isn't it? I mean, a couple months ago, we'd be like, "Oh, they brought a spider and he's got
What are they
machine guns." Just
doing?
ignore it. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Now it's like, "Oh crap, it's a spider. We're
It's
all
a crit
doomed."
seeking spider with
Yeah.
freaking amazing quirks that can make it in this tier, definitely. Oh boy, what a fight. So, just a real quick recap on the map of the general movement here. We just did see the replay. Essentially, they sent a majority of their guys here. Seleth was trading from D3 and then ultimately down here. He kind of transitioned. They did a little bit of running back and forth, and then they basically came around this side, up here, and engaged in this area. 228 had decent spread here.
What the
They
heck
ended up
did you
backing
just
up
draw on the
here.
map?
I don't know.
There's this like scribble going on down
Get out of here. And then they rotated their Overwatch here. And then, of course, Seleth and the Spider engage and destroy. So that is basically the sloppy movement, if you were following along. I want to say sloppy. It's sloppy drawing of the movement as they fought this battle. But well played by Imperial. That's going to give you a solid C-bill lead of 300,000 versus
And that is
25.
exactly what Imperial wanted to start the night off. And I'm sure there are some folks watching in SJR that are hoping that 228 can turn it around. But
Absolutely.
that is just what Imperial wanted to have happen. What was that, 8-1 victory?
At this point, SJR doesn't care. I would say, especially at this point, SJR doesn't really care about how many C bills 228 earns. They want to see how many C bills they can keep EMP from earning, and that's going to be the big question: is can they keep them down? But not a good start. SGR is probably rooting for 228 at this point to just try and pull as many drops as they can. But it's going to be a tall order, and especially coming off of something like this. But I don't think I've seen Imperial lose a drop one at all yet. I may be wrong, but when I'm thinking into my whatever I can pull up here, EMP always starts strong, and then we see some rebounds
Did Lords
sometimes.
win drop one?
I don't remember.
That
I
might be
I
the
just feel
only
like
time.
EMP is a
I'm gonna
much
have to look.
better
I know
brawling
House of
light mech
Lords is a
team.
pretty good drop one team as well. That was a good match.
So we'll have to see what happens in drop two. But that's the big thing is when you're playing these guys, you can't get disheartened by a bad drop one because EMP starts losing some of their matches in the heavier drops, it seems. So pull it together and let's see what 228 can bring in drop two. It's not over yet, ladies and gentlemen. We are heading shortly into Viridian Bog. Drop 2, still skirmish, a little bit heavier at 2 lights, 4 mediums, 2 heavies, 0 assaults, no strikes, but we can see clan streaks, and we have seen them used quite a bit, especially on this lighter drop. It's not exactly the biggest thing, but it's good for protecting your group against lights. But let's go take a look, shall we? Let's get the pip going. Here we go. Viridian Bog. Alright, I am on the Imperial side. I'm seeing a Brawler Shadowhawk 2D2. Oxide 4SP with Slummy. Then we got Twinkie Overlord in a Black Widow. We are seeing
Oh
some more
man, Bandit's favorite mech coming right
dual
there.
Black Widows. I love the Black Widow. It is such a fun mech to play, and they've brought 2 of them. Stormcrow with Selith. Let's see what he's bringing. Is it a Party Crow? It is Streak 6s and a Flamer.
Oh,
And we have a
not the party
hold?
pro.
Do we have a hold?
Looks like a hold. Yes.
Okay, must be a disconnect, so we have a hold. Hopefully, whoever disconnected can get back relatively quick. Let's see if we can get in a cockpit and see who the offending mech is. Slummy, and I think he was in the 4SP, just disconnected.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a
Hopefully,
look
he can
here
get
real
back
quick at
quickly.
the 228 drops. They've got the blackjack. Actually 6 medium pulses on the blackjack. Hunchback 2C SRMs. Interesting choice there in the 2C brawler build, I guess. Grasshoppers, large pulse. The Black Knight Grasshopper build. Jenner 2C. Dual Griffins is their dual mech of choice, and Oxide, and Timberwolf, a brawler Timberwolf. So some clan brawlers, which you could pack a lot of firepower on them. They aren't as tanky as those IS mechs. I know in the Hunchback realm, if you're going to do SRMs, usually you see the 4SP, which is a very tanky mech. Instead, they went with the 2C and put SRMs on that.
Now, those 2 Black Widows, they are bringing 2 AC5s and 2 Ultra AC5s, so it's almost like a mini Mauler. I mean, its Alpha Strike is essentially 5 less than a Mauler. So they can definitely put out quite a bit of damage, and it has those nice shield arms that can protect it quite a bit. So I've enjoyed playing that mech, and they definitely went with the higher output variant.
Yeah.
It's capable of doing quite a bit at even 600 meters. It can put some damage out there. It can put some definite hurt. It doesn't have the same ballistic range quirks that the MX-90 has, so it can't reach out to 800. But on this map, who cares? You're not going to be shooting out to 800 anyways, for the most part. Let's take a look and see. Did they decide? Okay, wait for ghost signal after recon.
Looks like
He is
we've had the
reconnected.
reconnected, so we're going to wait for go, and then we'll see it.
Thankfully, they have opted to not go for
And
a
here they
mulligan,
go.
so we're not going to have any sort of seeing each other's decks or anything like that. So we are right back in the action. Everybody held nice
Okay,
and
if you
firm.
see each other's decks, you just can't let them touch.
Oh boy. Coburn in the Oxide heading up to the left spire. He's going to try and get some vision right away. But he is going to be a little bit surprised when he sees Black Watch coming right down that D4 region. Let's see if he gets some vision on him. He's going to go take a closer look. He puts up his UAV and bugs out. I think he knows they're coming. So that information is now gained. 228 has absolutely no clue where a majority of EMP's mechs are, but
I think they've just got a little bit there. They've got some blips now on Chrisman's screen. They have at least some awareness of what's going on, and it looks like
Nova. Yep, Solitude in the Nova. So Slummy in the Forest P is up to the stairs in that tanky Forest P. He wants to be out front. You can tell he wants to be the main tank. So he needs to get some healers on his back, and he'll be going in there against that dragon, which is Blackwatch.
Had a little bit of a quick engagement on the left side of the hill up here. Panic Button versus EMP's Jenner 2C. Got a couple trades in.
The Black Widows, though, are bringing some hurt to those Oxides. And here we go.
Here's a brawl at the top of the deck
to
here.
The rescue, and wow, we have a split fight. The brawl is up on top of the left spire. 228 has made it up the stairs. Panic Button in the Hunchback 2C down to 51%, but they are focusing down Solitude in the Nova. Nobody has died yet. Edmeister in the Grasshopper dropped down and overheated, and he got taken out pretty quick. 3 down now for 228. Solitude does go down, but 228 needs to start getting their focus on point here. Grim in the Timber gets slaughtered. The Forest P is still at 91%, doing a fantastic job just getting that fire down on target. Grim in the Griffin 3M trying to get in there, but down to 48%, and he will go down shortly. Doesn't look good for 228. And it looks like this is going to be another one. Oh, he does get imminent down in the Shadowhawk 2D2 before he gets taken down. So that's 3 kills for 228. But they need to get more.
Yeah, they need to turn this around. I don't think it's going to be possible.
It doesn't look like it's going to be possible. Just the DACA coming in from Heimdallite and Twinkie Overlord. It's just so hard to survive this onslaught. These Black Widows are so powerful. And there you go. That is all she wrote. We have a 8-3 decision in favor of Imperial.
I think Imperial came to play tonight. Their first couple drops have been very clean, very good focus, and we're seeing maybe not as much focus as they'd hoped for from 228, and it's costing them right now. You can't not have your A game on.
Absolutely. Looking at the damage, Heimdallite pulling 626, doubling Twinkie Overlord. He just came and he saw and he kicked some ass. 626.
Took some names there.
My goodness. Holding Timber down to 77 damage from Grim 57. That's rough. Nobody above 400 for 228. They had a couple at 300. They had 307 and 302 from the Blackjack and the Griffin 3M. Those were the last 2 mechs alive. But just oh my god, the numbers for EMP tells the story. They just came and just held the trigger down, and that's all they needed.
Yeah, and I don't think I necessarily like the split push either there by 228. I felt like they, on Bog especially, there's so much junk, right? There's so much, all this stuff you get stuck on, stuff, that blocks your shots, this and that. You got to be really precise to make sure you have angles at the same time to do a split push. And with all that stuff on the map and everything, I think you'd rather just kind of stay together as one group and mix it up.
Did they send somebody around the B3 side?
They sent, I think they sent people around both sides of that hill, not the B3 side, but around the Charlie 3 side.
Okay.
Yeah, so they came from Charlie 3, Charlie 4, and Delta 4 to Charlie 4.
Okay, so they kind of came right through the middle, trying to do some sort of split here.
Well, here I'll show you what they did on the map here. We're gonna.
Because I know that ultimately they were over here fighting the Black Widow.
Stop it! Just stop it! Just let it happen. All right. So they came in here, and everyone kind of grouped up here, and then we had some mechs double back. Was what wound up happening.
I see.
So they came up top. We had some mechs double back. Initially, it looks like they were just trying to get some pokes, but then I think that was Greem and the Timberwolf and Panic Button, I believe, and the Hunchback 2C went around into the Charlie 4 side, kind of dropped down, and it felt like they were really kind of on their own there and not in a good position, had some lights on them, and, just felt disorganized on that kind of, I don't know whether it was a purposeful split push or not, but it wound up being a split push and clearly did not work out well for them.
Now, some people are confused on the legality of using the Warhammer since this is technically a week 1 match, but the rule is for when the match is played, not for what week the match is scheduled in. Got that from Frost's mouth, so you can yell at him if you don't like it, but that is my understanding, and that's the understanding that everybody seems to have. So Black Widows are legal because of that rule. So that's how that one went down. Let's take a look here at the replay. So we are back in action. Let me pump this up to 720p. That's terrible quality. Now we're buffering. Alright, so we do have Imperial up on the stairs there, and I am seeing, yep, they are moving some of those guys up through the center of the spire. But then, yeah, here they got the 2 lights in on the back side. I didn't see how they got back there, but those Black Widows do not give a crap about those lights. They are just unleashing the Daka, and the lights cannot even get a shot in. And then they even had a third mech, a light, come in to back them up while this brawl went down. So those Black Widows did not care, and they were able to flush out those lights and either flush them out completely or just take care of them. But the rest of the guys up on top of the spire were able to do quite a bit of focus fire and just did a really good job at taking those guys down very quickly. So hard to say. I mean, there's not much else to say about that. It was just a very good focus by Imperial and not missing their shots, and really the deck that they brought was just more powerful. Those Black Widows are tough to fight against, and they brought 2 of them for a reason. So
Seeing a lot of complaints here that the it's not fair because this match is played later so that they get to use Warhammers and other teams don't. Guys, that makes no sense. It's a match between 228 and EmP.
yeah.
Just because SJR wasn't able to bring Warhammers in their match, what does that mean? The other team they played at that time also couldn't bring Warhammers. It was even for when the matches were played. The matches aren't played between teams that aren't in this match. You know,
Absolutely. So just because
what's it matter there?
Just because
It doesn't matter,
some
guys.
team a couple weeks ago wasn't able to bring these mechs, because otherwise then we would essentially have to ban mechs for an entire season. You know, like that doesn't make any sense. So it really doesn't, because it's the same teams are playing under the same rules against each other right now, and that's what you guys need to be focusing on. So let's get ready for drop 3. This is the first conquest drop, Tourmaline Desert. 0 lights, 3 mediums, 4 heavies, 1 assault, and the assault has to be a victor. No strikes still. Streaks are still available, but I don't think anyone's going to bring them since there's no light mechs on this one. So a much heavier drop, and without having any of those scout mechs. Question is will we see an Ice Ferret or some other fast medium used for the cap game, or are we going to see a good hard push and brawl? We'll have to see how it goes. And we are on our way in. Let's get the pip going. And here we go. Tourmaline Desert, drop 3. Imperial up 2-0. Let's see if 228 can bring it back together.
Yeah, they're going to have to do something here because they have not shown the same level of focus, and really, it almost feels like the same level of intensity that EmP has brought to these matches. So they've got to get a turnaround here if they want to win this match. Otherwise, it's going to be EmP's match to win, and it might be their division to win as well.
Now 228 kind of taking the same tone here with dual Black Widows and a Jägermech DD and a Marauder. So we've got quite a bit of Daka. Let's see what that Marauder's bringing. Medium lasers, AC5, so a lot of AC5s in use here, and they are going for some immediate trades, but Imperial is coming straight, alpha to alpha, not waiting for the rest of the team. They are coming in hard, so we have a very hard Daka firefight back and forth between the 2 Alpha Lances, and it looks to me like, oh man, it's hard to say. It's really hard to say. I would say EmP is taking quite a bit of damage. Their front Victor is getting slammed by the Jägermech at this point. But I want to say percentages went in favor of 228, and the rest of their team has just arrived. while this is happening, the other lance for Imperial has reached stage, and they're going to try and plug through and pincer them. 228 needs to put some pressure on, or they're going to get surrounded.
Yeah, 228 needs to engage now. They're too clumped up. They're hitting each other in the back at this point. They've got to spread out a little bit here.
So they are starting to breach around the right side, and here we have EmP coming through on their backs. Chrisman in the Black Widow getting pounded, but Solitude actually the first to go down in his Black Widow. Now we have one down on either side. 228 has their backs against the wall, which is actually pretty good for them. Let's see if they can continue getting their shots on target. Lots of AC-5 fire back and forth here. Grim just doing anything he can to anybody he can. Not a lot of focus there. 4 now down for 228. They need to worry about the mechs that are in their face. You can't just let the 4SP run into you like this. He has quite a bit of output. And here he comes. Grim now firing as fast as he can, but he's getting focused down. He's going to be down really quick. They have a lot of hurt mechs on EMP's side, but the focus has been better for EMP, and these mechs are starting to fall very quick.
Yeah, this is going to be another EMP win here.
I really feel like 228 did quite a bit of damage and had a really good opener, but once the fight started, the focus disappeared. Look at how low a lot of these EMP mechs are. They just did not seal it on any of them. Solitude went down relatively quick, and that was good. But then I was even commenting, I saw Grim shooting at a 91% mech. He wasn't shooting at anything that was, you know, pretty hurt at all. It was everybody was shooting at something else. And we've got 44%, 85%, 64%, 73, 48, 67. That's a lot of damage, and I can't wait to see the end round scoreboard here, because I feel like 228 did some damage here. Oh, I didn't have the pip up. I didn't have the pip up.
A couple of mechs did some damage there, but
oh no, the Enforcer, the Shadowhawk.
Yeah, not nearly enough. Not nearly enough for 228 there.
So it was Ed just doing everything he could in that Black Widow. So I guess I was wrong. I felt like they were doing good damage, but really it was Ed and Grim putting out a majority of it. So, but man, where was the damage from these guys? What happened?
You know what I think happened is some teams got some parts of their team, when there's a couple of these mechs got stuck on that little ridge. You know how there's like a ridge where they were engaging a little bit, and they were behind that ridge while other mechs were in front of the ridge, so they didn't have everyone, even though they all pushed forward to the right side at the same time, they didn't have everyone able to fire at the same time. So those couple of mechs out in front got focused, while some of the mechs behind had to get around the ridge before they could engage. Saw that a little bit with the pip, which you would have been able to watch if it was up.
Damn. So 2 kills. Did they keep the victor alive for Imperial? I want to say they did. Did anyone catch? Did you catch that? Let's take a look at the replay.
I did not catch it.
The replay is nowhere near it. We will correct the score if that is in fact wrong. I believe, because of the way it ended, I believe Imperial kept their victor alive, but I could very well be wrong, so we will watch the replay, and I will catch that and fix it. So, sorry for not getting the pip up on that one. I apologize.
It's very tough.
It's just a lot of stuff to click on, so my bad. I'll get it on the next one. Wow, the replay has not even loaded the map yet. We are still talking. So that was a very, very fast-moving map. Those Alpha Lances went at each other hard and fast. Let's take a look.
And we've seen that a lot, I think, in these maps on these things.
We have. I mean, it hasn't happened every time, but really, Imperial just taking their Alpha Lance straight in. Their Bravo Lance, I think they probably cut through Theta and then came up through here. So we had Alpha setting up on this side. Bravo joins them. Ultimately, they back up. This was almost like the SJR corner, and it might have been a little bit further over here, to be honest. But either way, I mean, they didn't get pincered, which is good, but the focus just was not there. And those mechs coming in on their backside and the heavy DACA in the front, killing zone. It was a murder. It was a murder. It was illegal.
Yeah.
Goodness. So let's go.
I just want to point out real quick on the map what I think happened to 228.
Well, I'm actually catching the replay real quick.
Well, you got to go to the map.
I got to go to the replay. This firefight was amazing. Just the amount of shots going back and forth. The Marauder panic button up in front. He lasted quite a bit longer than a lot of his peers, but really it was Krisman and Grim just unloading no, it was
Yeah.
Ed. It was Ed and Grim unloading nonstop with those AC5s. So they did end up pushing up, so they didn't get necessarily pincered, but we did have the movement through the spire to put a little bit more pressure on their left side. But that little rock formation in the center there kind of split the two groups up. They were fighting on two different planes, and it's really hard to get that focus when not everybody's able to hit the same target. And Krisman up in front in the Black Widow just getting completely pounded. I really felt like they needed to stay with their team. If they're going to go behind that spire like that, this little rock formation right here, if they're going to go behind that, they all need to. They can't have 3 mechs up in front of it like that. It's not a lot. It's not going to completely obscure your mechs, but it puts them at a different elevation. You can't shoot past them, and you can't see necessarily the exact same targets, and it puts you out in front to just get jumped on. So
Yeah, I really think the push around Delta 5 into into EMP's line was the right idea for 228, but the wrong motion because they got split between that little low wall, and some of their mechs got taken out of the fight during the initial push, and it allowed EMP not only to focus, but to focus without taking as much firepower when it was still 8v8, but it wound up being like 8v4.
So we should be catching the scoreboard here shortly. Let's just quick pop back and take a look at the map. Did you draw something?
I was going to, and then you got rid of it.
Free.
I'll show you.
To draw
I'll show
something
you.
right now as
That
they go
initial
and capture
push,
their last...
we had about 4 mechs come around this way, and another 4 mechs come around that way.
Yeah.
And here's this wall right here,
Mm-hmm.
and some of those mechs could not see over that wall in green there. And so the initial engagement with EMP right here was essentially it's a 4 on 8. It's tough. It's tough to win that, and they were not able to do so.
No bonus awarded because both teams did lose their victors, so we have fixed the scoreboard. But Imperial at a clean 900,000 C-bills. Very clean. How much do they need to get to surpass SGR? Was it 1.1 mil?
They needed 1.2 approximately would definitely go past.
If they continue at this pace, unfortunately for SJR, it looks like EMP is going to win the division. But we'll see if 228 can rally. Even if they win these last 2 drops, though, if EMP is able to get a lot of kills, then it's going to still go in their favor because they can pull a lot of C-bills even on a loss. So it looks like we are heading into Frozen City Night. 2 lights, 2 mediums, 2 heavies, 2 assaults. There are strikes finally, and this is on Conquest. So I'm just going to take a moment to say rest in peace, sweet Frozen City Night. We love you so.
We will miss you
we will
so
miss
much.
you. Please, I hope that they don't make it horrible. But I mean, I'm going to put a little bit of faith in them, but we'll have to see. So let's go to the match. Putting the pip up for reals this time.
Oh, thank goodness.
Both sides are starting up. And I am over on the Imperial side again. I am seeing dual Black Widows. Mauler MX-90, Atlas S, Jenner 2C, Jenner Oxide, Stormcrow, Shadowhawk 2D2. On the 228 side, we are seeing a Black Widow, MX-90, Atlas S, Griffin 3M, Orion, Stormcrow. Did they not bring a single duplicate? Nope, 2 Jenner 2Cs. They brought dual Jenner 2Cs.
And let's take a look at those Jenner 2C builds.
Both sides have taken 2 caps apiece. We have a little bit of an exchange from Ed into Selith. I'm pretty sure Selith is rolling a Streak Crow. Let's take a quick look here. He is
rolling a Streak Crow.
And he got a really
5
good
streaks
shot.
and a flamer.
Really good, solid shot on Ed Meister. So that's 19% for that light mech gone already. in the opening exchanges, that hurts. That's going to be a little bit to come back from. But they know that they have the streak boat now. That's going to be very dangerous. I don't think we have a streak boat on... what is Defunct bringing? Let's see. Where are you, Defunct? There you are. Streaks. So they both have streak mechs. They both have streak mechs. So they both can do some anti-light duty, but it looks like Imperial is taking the risk and jumping on Theta. 228 is not moving to react to this cap, but it is going to be in 228's court to make a maneuver. They can't stagnate like this or they will lose to caps. They're going to have to make their choice, and there's so many guys down here in Lower City. I'm actually very surprised that 228 did not just push up into Saddle.
Is that Salith over there at Saddle poking over?
I can't believe they are not just
jumping on him. It is Salith at Saddle. Salith is poking around at Saddle. Look at how close he is, and they're doing nothing. There's 2 mechs for EMP here at Saddle, like 300 meters away, and 228's just waiting. We
know 228 has to be the one to move. 228 has to be the one to move, and EMP is not going to just come in on him.
I don't think they understand.
There was 4 mechs down by Lower City. And they just kind of let the cap happen, and they didn't react to it. Now, I guarantee you EMP would have been...
Now, here they're moving, and they're moving the long way across open terrain. I don't agree with this move at all.
They're going to come right across, basically right into the entirety of EMP, but they have so much Overwatch with the Black Widows and the MX-90. That's a lot of DACA. Slummy is getting quite a bit of hits on him at dropship. Let's see if they're able to seal the deal on him quickly. If they do, that could be very good for 228. While this is happening, the Atlas has moved in solo into Lower City with no backup from the rest of his team. Pisces Zero is fighting for his life down here, and nobody's able to get in there and help him out. He is still alive, but there's so much wasted potential. They didn't get any like free shots.
And 228 actually got 2 quick kills there at the end. I'm not sure how.
I mean, they must have been focusing down on the Black Widow and the Mauler. Twinkie went down as well. That could maybe help them. I just can't believe that Atlas was down there alone, but maybe that was big. Defunct just slams Aurora in the face.
Chrisman just cannot get the Shadowhawk down. He finally does.
This is actually going in 228's way.
How did that happen?
All the shit we just gave them for their maneuvering, and they just came and just completely wrecked EMP. I mean, Pisces down there alone, 1v5, and he lived as long as he did with basically no help from his team. His team was working on Slummy and Twinkie Overlord. These two were their primary targets. That's good. That's taking down that DACA Overwatch is big. But the amount of time Pisces wasted, they took down 2 mechs, which is a great start. And then the streak mech... Defunct gets in there and just starts wrecking the lights. And I don't know what Selith was doing or if he had an opportunity to get the Jenner 2Cs off of him, oh my god. That was that
Atlas pushing him by himself stayed alive long enough, I guess.
We're going to have to take a look at the replay and see what we missed. Cuz everything seemed wrong. Wrong. But it ended up
turned out so right.
Look at the damage for EMP. They weren't
They had to have gotten some good back shots and things like that when I guess they firing into the city, maybe getting some backs open. I'm not sure.
Goodness gracious. So 8-3 in favor of 228. And it looks to me like 228 gets the bonus, but EMP does not. So we're gonna have to take a nice slow look at the replay to figure out where that went wrong for
I completely missed that. I felt like you did. 228 was just not in a good position, not a good push, spread out. Even the damages seem to be wrong there. So this feels a little bit like the ending of Lords versus EMP, right? Where Lords versus EMP, where Lords won the match despite the fact that it really felt like EMP dominated.
Whew, my goodness, that was definitely good for 228. They did something very right. Now let's see.
They must have.
Can they do it again? That is the big burning question: is can they do it again? So let's go ahead and do a giveaway. I think we should do a
Yeah,
giveaway.
giveaway time. Let's
For,
do that.
let's start off with the tournament supporter pack, which was generously donated to us by NGNG. That's No Guts, No Galaxy. These guys right here. They gifted us that $10 pack, so we will send the winner a key, and you can do whatever you want with it. You could give it to somebody else if you already have one. Whatever you want to do with it, that is up to you. But let's go and see who wins. It is technically a code, so this still counts. And around it goes. Decent crowd out there. Major hype for the end of Season 7.
Getting a comment, did Bandit just say streak, bro?
I don't think
Did you?
I don't remember saying streak,
If you
bro.
didn't, you should.
Omega
Next
Harley,
time.
you are the winner. Make sure you say something in chat so we know you are here. Because if you don't say anything, I'm going to give it to someone else. But congratulations, Omega Harley. You are the winner of a tournament supporter pack. Something's wrong with your camera on Skype.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is there. So I'm going to put your placeholder up. Bam. Oh, it's Poop and Share's
Or
placeholder.
placeholder.
Oh, Jesus. Ah, what is this, amateur hour? Oh, it's Poop and Share's. Here, we're going to do something different. Why don't we do this one?
Uh-oh. I don't want to know what you're doing right now.
There we go. You are now Lauren Bamlet making hand motions. All right, that's going to be distracting as hell, but that's okay.
I don't know how I
if you
feel
fix
about
your
this.
camera. But let's go check out the replay. Let's take a look at where this went wrong for Imperial. Alright, so decent airstrike, got a little bit of scratch there on 228. So they start moving down the long way, down the left side. So we were making a bunch of comments like, why didn't they push over saddle right there? One thing to note is that if they did push over saddle
Yeah, they do have
been,
the long approach.
they would have been pelted by the Mauler and the Black Widow the entire way, I think, if they breached saddle. So that overwatch could have been very painful for them. They opted to take it instead up to this lower city position. They stagnated here a little bit because they started putting shots in on Slummy, and they seem to be doing pretty well against Slummy here. So then I noticed, oh shit, there's blue down there. What's going on? Let's go take a look. Pisces 0, 1v4 essentially, and it's soon to be 1v5. Looks like he has a little bit of help from Ed, and the streak boat is on the way, but God, look at how long he's living. Down to 27%. Was able to keep it going, and while that happened, both the Black Widow with Slummy and MX-90 with Twinkie Overlord were taken down. I can't believe... Okay, let's take a second here. Let's see if I can spot where Twinkie goes down, because that's big. I don't think Twinkie was being focused. 89%? What happened? That had to have been like a headshot or something. 89%.
Headshot, maybe a
I see
ammo
some
explosion,
DACA. I see some DACA going over there, but 89%. Oopsie. That's huge. I think it was... Is this panic button over here? Panic button in the Mauler. Must have... I saw a lot of AC fire coming from panic button into Twinkie Overlord. I didn't get a chance to see what happened to Twinkie, but he went from 89% to 0. All right, so then right here... We have rapid fire deaths. Let's see if we can slow it down and figure out where that happened. Let's take it to half speed here. So we got Solitude very low. Selith is swarming around Ed. The streak boat just gave it to this light and then shut down. So Defunct is going to get another free one. Ed dies on this side, but Defunct is just pelting Arara. Here's Solitude. He's in the Atlas. He's in bad shape. There's a fight going on the right side that I can't see. Imminent goes down in the 2d2 to Chrisman. Chrisman versus the Selith and the Streak mech. And honestly, Panic Button just had a field day over there. What a fight.
I mean, early on, I think they must have just gotten some back shots. Like we said, we had the solo Atlas charge in, and all of a sudden it was 2 kills for 228. It was like,
And
how
then
did that
not
happen?
only 2 kills for 228, and then suddenly 3 more dropped almost instantly in 3 separate fights. There was no focus going on by
Yeah.
either team. There was 3 separate fights happening at once, and it was just bang, 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 everybody dying in favor of 228. I mean, 228 drew EMP into these like separate fights, and they won them. They won them. He won, obviously.
Yeah.
He won the trade against Twinkie Overlord because 89% to 0. My goodness.
A quick back shot or something, but
Yep. So all right, well let's talk about drop 5, Caustic Valley Conquest. 2 lights, 0 mediums, 2 heavies, 4 assaults. Strikes still allowed on Conquest. Should see some interesting fight here. They do have the lights at their disposal, but it is a very, very heavy map. A heavy, slow-moving map. So we'll see how that goes.
usually again we see a lot of DACA on this map because of how hot it is. But who knows?
All right, let's go take a look. Both
Quick
teams...
look here at the 228 drop decks. Dual Maulers, pretty typical choice. Banshee 3E is pretty popular, and a Direwolf. Direwolf can be pretty good if you set it up right. Fighting along the Caldera can be a little tough, though, with some of the hills and those low-mounted weapons.
All right, they are coming in on their drop ships. We do have dual Mauler MX-90s versus dual Mauler MX-90s. They do have the Black Widow in there for both sides. These are very, very similar decks. Direwolf, though, the other team, EMP taking the Banshee instead. So the Direwolf for 228, we'll have to see how that goes for them. 228, EMP making an aggressive movement up the left side, taking Sigma and cutting in along saddle towards Theta.
And 228 does have a the Jägermech triple UAC DD, which is I like it. It's a high risk, high reward kind of mech. It's definitely not tanky. It's really kind of squishy, but you put out a lot of damage in that mech, and those high mounted points on this hilly sort of map is a great thing to have.
So I believe that 228 can reach the Caldera before EMP can, but they got Selith up there in the Timberwolf already, and they are capturing. So Selith has to be careful here. If they all breach on him at the same time, let's see if Pisces can get some DACA shots in there. He does get some, down to 88%, so that was a good trade by 228, getting some early damage in, but it looks like the rest of the DACA has arrived. Battlemaster 1G for Bear Claw. So they went Battlemaster Banshee, Muller. Bear Claw taking hits down to 87%, but he traded into the Banshee 3E for Chrisman down to 88. So we have ourselves a little bit of a Mexican
And he has
standoff.
5 large pulse lasers on that Battlemaster. That has to be hot, especially at the Caldera here, which is one of the hottest places in MWO.
Now, we've seen this done before. 228 is basically ignoring the caps at this point. They're going to go for solid trades. They want to wipe EMP off the face of the planet. EMP has 3 capped them, so it is going to be on 228 to make the move. So we'll have to see what they do and how they execute. Dr. Killer taking some close looks around on that right side there. Just AC5 just swinging right by his head, though. He got out of the way just in time. But he's
Still
just trying
doing
to
pretty
figure
well
out...
on the damage, but he's got to be careful with those peaks if they're looking that way.
Yeah, if he takes one to the face, that's going to be devastating. So tickets, they did uncap Theta, and they are switching it over, though. So
Yeah, one last
fight
bite.
is on
The
there.
Jenner 2C is hanging out on Theta. He's
It looks like
got himself
228
a
is
little
making
nut.
a maneuver, though. They're moving their assaults up to Theta. Grim and the Direwolf around the right side. Hopefully he doesn't get caught out, because this is a slow-moving beast. He's going to take a lot of extra damage.
And Heimdallite just got a ton of damage in on the left side of Theta, Echo 4 side of Theta. He just got a bunch of damage in on there.
That was against the Direwolf, most likely. But it looks like... Oh, man, the percentages are not looking too hot for EMP right now. Let's see whether or not these Maulers, the DD, Pisces Zero in the DD, they're really bringing these autocannons to bear. They are doing a lot of damage to EMP. If they can sustain this, they might be able to come away with a win here.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think 228's in a better position at this point. They just got to keep trading well.
Yeah.
It's early on in the match. There's no reason
Pisces
to brawl
Zero
yet.
needs to be very careful.
Pisces
He's moving
is getting
up
very aggressive, though,
on
and
the
I
left
think
side.
they know
Aurora
he's over
knows
there.
he's there. He is not in a good position. If they decide to breach on him, He's going to get completely jumped on, and here comes Aurora in the General 2C. Coburn
Oh,
coming
this is
in
going to be
behind him
painful.
to
This
join
mech
him.
can't hold up against that.
Pisces needs to get out of there. They did take down Solitude in the Mauler MX-90, but Pisces is not going to live through that exchange. Got very aggressive up the left side and paid for it. Selith getting back shots on Krisman in the Banshee. He goes down, 2 down now for 228. And it is starting to flip in the other direction. If they can't start getting some of this focus, they need to stop making mistakes on their positioning because it is starting to cost them. They are down 6-7. Lots of hits in on Bearclaw, though. This Direwolf is doing work. He's basically a turret, but he's backing up against the wall. He is stuck and taking a massive beating for it. Selith comes around in the timber and takes him out. Very good.
I don't think 228 realizes that they're getting pushed on their right side.
They did just take Selith out. Ed saw it coming and he dealt the damage, but they got the 2 lights in on the right side. They can still pull this back if they can get these last couple shots in.
They gotta get these lights down, though. Those lights are really, really dangerous against these slow-moving assaults.
They are, but
those
they have
Jenner
their own
2Cs
lights.
have wicked alphas.
Yeah, they have their own lights as well that can help them out. Dr. Killer is in the front there, but one last bite is actually in on the main group, getting completely
And Dr.
pounded.
Killer just got Bearclaw down. Here they go. The lights are mixing it up now with those assaults.
One last bite went down. They
need
can't
to support
sacrifice these lights. They cannot sacrifice these lights. Heimdallite goes down. Dr. Killer doing anything he can. They need to put some more pressure in to help Dr. Killer out. We are at a 4v4 with percentages in favor of 228.
That was a great job by Dr. Killer. That Banshee is so beat up right now.
Here comes Coburn. They have 2 lights coming in on Ed. Coburn goes down in a hail of fire. Aurora is trying to get out of there now. 37, he gets light.
And he's going to go down. This is going to go in 228's favor.
There's 2 mechs remaining for Imperial, 4 for 228. They still need to land their shots, though. Twinkie, very hurt, down to 39%. He
does get a kill. He does pull it back a little closer.
Dr. Killer is...
Oh, got another kill.
Face! 2v2. They are just playing their corner tight. Defunct is the freshest out of all of them. They're waiting for it. Twinkie goes
down. And he got the kill.
And with a second shot, takes down Imminent with a double kill. And it goes in favor of 228, but it was a very bloody, costly battle. 6 kills for 228, 8 kills for 228, 6 for Imperial. Good fight, though.
That was a good fight. That was back and forth. We like to see that. Look at Twinkie, 788 damage in that Mauler. That's brutal.
Bonus
697 for Panic Button. Dueling Maulers there with the damage, but Defunct in the Warhammer. Oh, man.
No, did I just do?
What did you do?
The last drop of the goddamn season, and I did a fucking radio cast.
Did you radio cast it?
I've failed. I failed you all! God! Oh, shit.
Now I have to know.
Yeah, I did it.
You did it.
Yeah, I did it.
You did the worst of the worst. The amateur of the amateur.
Chat. Oh, my God.
Good radio coverage, though. Let's see the radio voice.
Oh, and it was such a great match.
It was such a...
The worst of the worst. Do you have the replay at least?
No, because it's of my
that's right.
desktop.
We don't even have the replay.
And you're not broadcasting to Twitch, so I don't have any view from you. Find me a goddamn stream from one of their views. Let's see.
We're going to go searching for Twitch now. Oh, the worst of the worst right there. Amateur Hour. Amateur Hour is going on right now.
I blame Zoof for making fun of me for previous radio casts.
That's too good.
Fun of me. God damn it, Zoof.
And I don't see any other Twitch streams going on. I'm so impressed. Well, guys, you missed one heck of a match.
They got to watch Lauren doing the hand thing the entire match. Just doing the fucking animation. God damn it. I knew it was wrong. As soon as I typed in the score and hit save, I saw out of the corner of my eyes the overlay update, and I look over. I'm like, no, what did I do? Oh.
Well, it's part of a whole season. I think you're doing
I-
pretty good.
Don't know if it was the whole season. Maybe it was the whole season, but son of a bitch. Well, I guess we're going out with a bang.
Yeah, that was memorable, guys. It was a great match, back and forth, all sorts of stuff going on, incredible shots, things we've never seen before, and things you don't get to see.
Yeah, Pisces fucked up.
Pisces did mess up.
Everybody's like, no Pisces. All right, well, let's do another giveaway. Okay.
All right, make it up to him
You know
by
what?
giving
I'm just
away
gonna
some
give away
Macs.
a ton of shit. Like,
Yeah.
all right, this one, because I might as well do a clearinghouse on some of my goddamn codes. Fuck me. All right, let's do a bunch of premium time first. This is gonna be a drawing for a bunch of premium time. Oh, it's the worst feeling in the world, guys. It really is. Because the 5-minute delay,
I like Fear Not Death says next time that happens, we need to give like the sound effects. So I'll just sit there and be like, pew, 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 boom.
Grim 57, who is actually playing in this match, wins. I don't know how much premium time code I'm gonna get. Let's see here.
Chat's harsh. Chat's harsh tonight.
All right, so Grim wins. Take him off the list. Let's just do it again. I'm giving all my shit away. Publishers Clearinghouse. We're clearing it all out. Second winner of the night. Thorolf. I don't think I've ever seen that name before. Welcome, Thorolf. You are the winner of some more premium time. And let's do it again. We're rapid firing these. I hope you like the music. Chat's just
Chat is
figuring it
exploding
out.
right now. This is great.
Siri pulls it off. Alright, we got some more premium time. Welcome back, by the way, Siri. Was watching you guys and you and Raffle Waffle. Because obviously you guys have never had anything like this happen before, right? Right?
Yeah, we've never had this happen to anyone until just now.
The chat just exploded.
I can't even keep up with chat.
The chat just saw it.
I like what Benzino just said. You done goofed, bandit. You done goofed.
So yeah, well, my fail is some of you guys' bonus because I'm just giving a bunch of crap away here.
The reason, actually, guys, let's be honest. The real reason why we didn't show that match is because it was 8 Warhammers versus 8 Warhammers, and they were all Black Widows.
Clearly, yeah.
Clearly, that's what it was. So we weren't allowed to show you because it was so OP that everyone else
Alright, we're gonna
from the
reload it
season
just in case new names
was just
came in here.
blown away.
All right, so you guys get to watch the process. Okay, kick all those people. Call me Kippers. Gone. I got him already. Siri. Got him. Thorolf. All right. The reason why I'm doing this again.
By the way, MD is way louder than you are.
Is MD way louder than me? Well, thanks for telling me after drop 5.
I know, but
Ah.
clearly not reading
And it is amateur hour tonight. I've actually
All right.
been yelling the whole time. That's why I'm so loud.
This is going to be who wants some Cyclops. All right. Question mark. Who wants some Cyclops? Let's do it. This is for a standard pack for the Cyclops. Hell yeah. And the big winner of a Cyclops is Darklight 228. Congratulations. Please, if you could, send me your pilot name in a message, and we will have that injected into
Did we get
your
the
account.
did we get the official word now, Bandit? Was that enough? Was that 1.2 million C-bills?
Well, let me see here. What do I got? What do we got? I've got for Imperial. Let me make sure that everything's correct here. 8 kills and bonus for 228, 6 kills for Imperial. No bonuses on either of the last two. Imperial comes away with 1.125 million.
1.125. Let's go to the exact
And
numbers.
I don't
here.
know whether or not the penalty from the double duplicate is on the scoreboard yet.
EMP needed 1.185.
And is that including the penalty?
I don't know if the penalty's been enforced yet.
It could have been 1.2 then that they needed. So
It could have been.
These are, of course, unofficial numbers, folks. Unofficial numbers.
Unofficially, I think
So-
SJR might have pulled that out.
Wow. Holy cow.
If they did, it's incredibly close.
228 definitely brought it in these last two. Absolutely. I can't wait to see what the scoreboard shows at the very end once all of the penalties are all enforced and stuff like that. We'll have to see, but all eyes are going to be on that. I'm sorry that I can't declare a winner. We're going to need a recount. We're going to need a recount. Yes.
Ugh.
Ah,
Man.
God. All right. So, who wants some night gear? YR. Okay. Who wants some night gear?
Doing Who Wants a Space Marine?
Who wants a Space Marine? Darklight 228 is off the list. Let's do this. The last given God. The last giveaway of the night for a night gear
The guilt giveaways. I like the guilt.
The big winner is TB64. Congratulations, TB64. I even just saw you talking in chat. You have absolutely no idea that you're about to be the big winner, but
Surprise,
you are.
surprise.
Make sure you message me your pilot name, and we will have that injected into your account. Congratulations to Darklight228 and TB64, the big winners, and of course Omega Harley picking up the tournament supporter pack. Thank you again to PGI for donating those mech packs, and thank you to No Guts, No Galaxy for donating the tournament supporter pack. And of course, thank you to those two groups for all of the support throughout the season. You guys have been fantastic working with me on making these casts exciting and all the giveaways and stuff. Darren, you've been awesome. Gotta give mad props to Bombadil. That guy is amazing, and without him, who knows, maybe I wouldn't even be doing this. So, thank you guys very much. Hopefully that was enjoyable, and hopefully the radio cast at the end was at the very least enjoyable. But
I think everyone got a good laugh out of your reaction. That seems to be the most popular point.
it just had to happen. I almost went for a perfect season, right?
Almost a perfect season, right? That's like, bottom of the ninth, like 0-2 count, go for the pitch for the perfect game, and the dude hits a home run.
Or
That's
even
what just happened
worse,
right there.
the game-winning, ending the game out in the outfield, and some fan reaches in from the outfield and catches it, right? The Cubs or whatever the hell that was. And I'm that fan catching the ball and everybody hates him now. But at least we saw some 4 very solid drops. And, of course, 228, congratulations for your effort of pulling out 2. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to take first place, but you guys definitely came to play. And winning 2 against Imperial, always a good showing. And you could have very well just prevented Imperial from taking first place from SJR. But we will have to get official standings counted up, and we'll see how it goes. I am Bandit P17. This has been MRBC Season 7. This, of course, is MDM0.
Doing the radio cast. That's what I'm here for.
We're signing off. See you guys,
See you
next
guys later.
season.
Pay attention to the paper doll. Make sure you guys are shooting the correct legs. Be careful of the collisions. I don't want to hear complaints about it. Work around it. Let's play this game.
I need another heavy. I've got TB and a quick draw.
I want to get fairly tight to it. Now, anybody who's going to be working range, I'm going to need you to fade right on this. If anybody's running short, is going to stay towards the top of the caldera if we're going to come at them.
I have you in the Griffin.
Sounds good.
Well, that's the thing. We got to get to brawling range, so I may be moving us right up to the hoop if we have to.
Wolverine nach Charlie 4.
It's fine, chill the out, man. It's fine, it's just a 5-star.
Kommt Leute, redet miteinander.
15 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't die.
Guys,
15 seconds, don't die.
guys. 3, 2, 1.
Charlie Dar, CT, yellow. Okay, go. Charlie, see if we can get it.
There. To your left, there's there. Sorry, shit. So, jetzt guys, hinter die Indie-Pocken.
Mediums be prepared to pull back E40 towards the E5 border. On my mark.
Left side, come on! Like now, I need strikes on the barrel. Wire are strikes up.
Die Hauptgruppe rechts, Uferlinie.
They have 3 mechs sitting on the left side when you pass over.
Overheating is bad.
Both legs on the Griffin. Get the Griffin.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. That was such a
That's right. I'm gonna spawn Lance, you guys in Charlie, Lance, you guys in Bravo. That's B2C1.
This third drop is 2 lights, 2 mediums, 2 heavies, 2 assaults.
Leute in die Breite, zieht euch in die Breite.
Lights, watch our backs. We're gonna about base and take up position in Bravo 6.
Ja, kurz Aufschaltung Delta 4, 3 Stück, 2 Mediums einleiten, wie ich das richtig gesehen habe.
Make a firing line.
C4 Tactical Hill, boys.
Fox.
Laufen unter ECM, haben 2 durchlaufen, 10 Bravo 4.
And get ready to hit people coming from our right.
Charlie on the left, Charlie, Hellbringer on the left.
Okay, let's group up towards the left. We're gonna press through Bravo 3 to Bravo 4. I think they're kind of spread out. Check yourselves, make sure you've got, UAV cool shot. Hey, here they come, they're pushing hard, guys.
Deco. Tez on.
Go. Oh, got a contact here, Bravo 3.
Nice, Marshall. I'm on Delta Griffin.
We'll get cross it then, get in their face. They got a highlighter, they just push up on Theta, we need help on Theta. Up on Theta. Yep, that's the noise. Go. Let's finish this. Full pressure, guys. Full pressure. They're down low. They're down low in Charlie 3. Get the fucking arm, Jackson.
Jackson, cool shot.
Go. I got him.
Go, P3, go.
Echo, go.
Get over on your medium, guys. Get Echo Stormcrow. God, I suck as a pilot, but thank I packed my skill. I'm sorry that you died, sweet girls, but we will send a reasonably nice letter to your family.